Hi guys, in today's video, we're going to talk about how the U.S. government may be shutting down Zelle.
Money transfer alert. More victims are reaching out to the I-Team about scams preying on people using the popular money transfer tool, Zelle.
Last year alone, Zelle users were defrauded out of about $500 million that we know of.
Like disappeared.
And I went, wow, I have been scammed.
I literally thought it was Wells Fargo protecting me, and they were not.
Zelle offers no fraud protections, and the law is unclear on peer-to-peer apps. Federal law requires refunds for unauthorized money transfers, but banks say these victims did authorize the transfers, even if they were tricked into doing so.
Last year alone, Zelle users were defrauded out of about $500 million that we know of.
Senator Elizabeth Warren called a hearing with CEOs of 7 banks that own Zelle, asking who would protect customers.
By a show of hands, who is willing to make that commitment to your customers?
No one spoke up. But Zelle's parent company tells us as of last June, member banks must reimburse consumers for qualifying imposter scams. As for Eileen, she made claims for each of the 8 transactions. Weeks later, she received 16 letters. Half said the claims were open. The other half said they were closed.
Listen, I'm really sorry you got scammed, but that's what it is. It's a scam.
Wells Fargo said she authorized the transactions, telling us when a customer reports they've fallen victim, we do a comprehensive investigation using the same Zelle rules, laws, and regulatory guidance as other banks.
In today's video, we're going to go over everything that's going on, and we're also going to talk about how this may be the only thing needed for the U.S. government to bring in the new FedNow system. Guys, stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new to the channel, I'm Credit Coach Q, and I create the first cloud-based software that allows you to put your credit repair experience into your own hands. If you're new to the channel, I'm super excited because I have a bang. In today's video, we're going to talk about Zelle and how they're scamming. But before we get into the video, guys, please like, subscribe to the channel. It allows YouTube to push this content to a wider audience and allows us to leave the lights on. Guys, please like, subscribe to the channel. If you have anything derogatory in your credit report, I mean anything negative, charge-offs, late payments, bankruptcies, medical bills, guys, you name it, please go over to creditapprove.com. It's the website and the software that I was telling you about that allows you to put the full experience to your own hands. Guys, people are removing thousands of dollars worth of debt by themselves. They are no longer using credit repair companies. They are putting this information and this experience into their own hands and appreciating on a deeper level. Guys, please go to creditapprove.com, check out the software, and start removing these items, guys, if you have anything derogatory on your credit report. Now, let's dive straight into the meat and potatoes of this video, and it's a lot of meat and potatoes. The financial industry is collapsing one domino at a time, and Zelle is on the same list of trajectory of the fall. Now, for those who don't know about Zelle, Zelle is a peer-to-peer payment service provider that allows you to send frictionless payments to any peer of your choice. So you can send $100,000, $10,000 frictionless, and a lot of times it is frictionless. That means that you cannot, once you send it, you cannot get the money back, and that is one of the main issues that they're having. So who owns Zelle? Zelle is owned primarily by 7 different major banks in the U.S. Zelle is owned by Early Warning Services LLC, which is co-owned by 7 of the largest banks in the United States: Bank of America, Truist, Capital One, JP Morgan Chase, PNC, U.S. Bank, and Wells Fargo. So some of the largest banks in the United States own Zelle, and the biggest issue that the government and the consumers are having with the product is that they are not protecting the consumers on all fronts. Now, as you've seen Elizabeth Warren say that over $500 million is stolen from consumers on a year-to-year basis, and that's just what they know. I'm almost sure that that number is probably triple the amount in real life when it comes to unreported claims. Now, Fargo says the U.S. authorities are examining Wells Fargo's over disputes on the Zelle payment network. The lender said Thursday in its quarterly report to the Securities and Exchange Commissions. Government authorities have been conducting formal or informal inquiries on or investigations regarding the handling of customers' disputes related to fund transfers made through the Zelle network. Wells Fargo said in its filing. Now, guys, there has been complaints for years over these type of issues, and these attacks that people are getting hit with, it is so strategic is that a genius will fall for it. Guys, check it out.
The money's all gone.
It's just scary. It's a scary feeling.
Like so many others, it began with a text.
And they were asking me if I had approved a Zelle transaction. And I said no. And then I received a call, and the number was from Wells Fargo.
A woman on the phone said someone was withdrawing her money. She had to stop it fast.
They told me to go on Zelle and transfer funds to myself.
The woman told her to cancel the phone number on her Zelle account and instead put in her own name. So it seemed legit. And these messages seemed to show she sent herself $1,000, then $700.
It clearly shows it was deposited into my account.
But it wasn't. Instead, it was going straight to the imposters using her name to receive her funds.
My money was gone. So when I went to go look, I had $6 left.
$3,500 was gone right then and there.
It was nearly identical to the scam that hit thousands of Bank of America customers last fall.
It was an eye-opener. I was shivering. I was crying.
I kissed the money goodbye.
I literally cried.
Now the scam is hitting Wells Fargo customers like Cynthia and Kelly Reynolds of San Jose.
I was home on a Saturday night.
She too got a frightening text saying Wells Fargo bank fraud alert. Did you attempt a Zelle payment?
And I said no. Almost instantaneously, I received a call.
A man on the phone said someone was draining her account.
It was a complete panic because all my money for my bills are in my account.
So as you can see, guys, it is a lot of work that has been done when it comes to these scams. It is very, very methodical and planned out to a T of a traditional banking department. These scams are so intricate that they are basically modeling the same exact business model that the banks are using. So the same verbiage, the same text, the same exact procedures, they are replicating it all. So if you have ever been a victim of fraud and went through the traditional dispute reporting with your bank, they are replicating all of that, and that is very, very scary, especially when you do not have the protection that is needed for this to happen, especially if you are a person that is elderly and a person that just naturally put a layer of trust when it comes to your financial institution, which I don't necessarily recommend, especially in this time, guys. We are in a time where these banks and these institutions that looks like they have a lot of money, they do not have a lot of money, and they are defaulting every quarter after quarter after quarter. These banks are defaulting, our treasury bonds are down, and these financial institutions are basically not lining up for having the capital to actually pay these people back. If the scam is over $500 million a year, the banks don't have $500 million to replace your scam, and that's just the honest truth. The FDIC have shut down insolvent banks that has not half the reserves that was necessary, and that's still unfortunate. Now, when you understand that these type of situations is scary, these new technologies, these new AI systems, and these new scammers is frightening to say the least. The article also said that the rule in question proposed in November would define a market for general use digital consumer payment applications covering providers of fund transfer and wallet functionalities through digital apps for consumers making payments to other people for personal, family, or household purposes. The comment period closed January 8th. Now, however, Warren, Brown, and Reed wrote an open letter to the EWS CEO Cameron Fowler asking the company to spell out and simplify its reimbursement policy for Zelle customers who were victims of fraud and scams. Now, Elizabeth basically asked them, send me the data required for these people that has been victim of fraud and scams. They also asked the big banks backed EWS to provide data by March 13th on Zelle fraud and scams from the last 5 years, including the amount the company has refunded. Now, you probably you've seen the video where Elizabeth Elizabeth Warren asked the 7 banks who is going to protect these consumers. Anyone or everyone raise your hand, and as you've seen in the video, no one did. It also says, since it appears that Zelle has not shared any specific information about its reimbursement policy, customers may not know that they can be reimbursed in thinking that they may not get any help, may not report these scams, the letter said. Now, it's a very slippery slope when it comes to trusting these institutions right now, guys. It's very, very frightening just going through the processes. Now that you have seen these videos, you can go on the Zelle website. They have a section on the website that layer out everything that you need to look out for to protect yourself on their platform. It also says Citi, which does not co-own Zelle, faces perhaps a higher profile investigation related to scam-related reimbursement. The bank urged a federal court last month to dismiss the New York Attorney General Letitia James lawsuit, which alleged Citi failed to make customers whole when they were subject to online scams. Now, guys, as you can see, Zelle is not the only institution that's actually going through an investigative period when it comes to their consumers not being protected under their platform. Citibank is another investigation that's going on, guys. These financial institutions are not what they used to be in terms of having protection and having trust when it comes to your life savings. Now, how do this relate to the FedNow system? Now, FedNow is a similar product that the US government is wanting to release. Now, it's basically the same thing. It's a frictionless payment system that the government is opening up. Now, when the government have competitors, that's normally not a great thing because they tend to get rid of them fast. Now, the co-owner and the co-founder of Cash App a few years ago died right before the FedNow system was to go live. You take with that as you want, but when it comes to them crackling down on these other financial providers like Zelle, like Cash App, like Venmo, these are going to be attacked, especially if the scams is on a horizon. It's everything that they need to shut them down and to provide a government-backed protection, similar program like the FedNow system. Guys, let me know in the comment section, do you think that this is a ploy to issue in the new FedNow system? Do you think that Zelle needs to be dismembered? Do you think that Zelle is safe? Have you been a victim of Zelle? Guys, leave it in the comment section below because I'm very interested. We'll go over it there. Guys, this is scary to say the least, and I want to know how you and your family has had a relationship with Zelle in the comments. Guys, until next time, take care of yourself, take care of your credit. Credit Coach Q out. Peace.